Hello. I'm now explaining how this works with the E20 Wolfgang Ellenberger genealogy. It began with my account of myheritage.com. I followed the line of my ancestors, father, great-grandfather, great-grandfather, and so on, Jacob. And these were still all in Friedelsheim. And Nikolaus came from Switzerland to Friedelsheim, his father as well. His father is a grand family tree founder in Switzerland. And has 13 children and so on. I think he had 10 and Jacob had 13. Now these are the Swiss guys, and it ends up with the unknown Ellenberger from 1445. So at this time there were very few records. It's difficult to find exact traces. He had two sons, Jacob and Peter, and the Jacob line is bigger, the Peter line is smaller. So now we have a look at the normal family tree view. This is me with 3 wives, my parents, and always on the right side the female family tree, on the left side the male. My grandfather, whom I didn't meet, I was born 1955, he died 1943. My great-grandfather, Daniel Adolf, and the famous Jacob Ellenberger from Friedelsheim. He was a famous preacher. He wrote songs which entered in the American Mennonite Church song books. He wrote diary and pilgrim books and poems which I translated to English, Spanish, and Russian for the main Mennonite languages. So his father, Abraham and Katharina, Christian Gottfried, and Abraham. The only record I have that this Abraham was mentioned in the death act of Christian. Now from here on, we look now in the Excel file. How does this Excel file work? It has a total normal numbering and total ID, which this is the basis for the unique logical structure of this Ellenberger genealogy. It is all in one piece. It's all deriving from the unknown Ellenberger, 1445. And there are the columns of the Richard Warren Davis and Hertzler things, and we can sort this file. This is the fantastic thing about it. Here we have the names, first names, sometimes in a modern writing, and the normal second name, which is mostly Ellenberger. There are a few women who enter, for example, if an Ellenberger marries somebody with another name. And the birth name, the maiden name of the women is here mostly, the birth date and so on. We can sort with the right click, which marks everything, and sorting defined. Now let's sort after the Richard Warren Davis genealogy. Then we see here all the Richard Warren Davis numbers are here. He has made about more than 140 Ellenbergers. So you'll find them sorted here. This is my old ID, which I can't even cancel, but for referring who has the Ellenberger 10, I can look up there. This is now we look after the Hertzler files. You see here, Hertzler has only about 54 entries, and you can click on the 3 different scriptures of Hertzler. When you click on this, you get the original document. He had just listed some Ellenbergers with the first name and written down with handwriting his notes about it. So the second is based on Jacob Ellenberger, showing his 13 kids, but not going further. His 10th kid, Daniel Adolf, is my great-grandfather, and his child Jakob Heinrich was my grandfather. So this is the Hertzler, and then another source is the Rudolf, from the Rudolf Ellenberger line, which is in Rissingen, in the North Palatine, coming from Ulrich, who was born in 1693. This is just inexactly, and he got the Ottersberger Hof in Rissingen, and his son was Rudolf, and he had many other sons, maybe other children, 10 other children, Rudolf again, his children 10, that's it. So the Rudolf line. Now we sort after the birth date. Here we must click the lower option. So it begins with 1445. And here you see the 1, 2, the Hans. And then this is the 1, 2, 0. The Peter, the other son, Jacob and Peter, other son of the unknown Ellenberger. It's here it is 1, 2, but when you have the listing from ID Toto, it is far down. So you can go along the timeline and see what happens. You can sort by other criteria, and when you want to go back to the original state of the file, you sort by laufende Nummer, and you have to choose this option. Then you're back to the original. There are many links in this. When you, for example, if you click here, you get the birth record from the church book Biglen, from the Bern church book server, and you have to read this Sütterlin writing. I have transcribed it here with a date. So if you go, for example, to Henry F., which is the famous American psychiatrist, he has a Wikipedia entry. He has Schaffhausen entry. Here you see all the documents which are in the background when you click the links. This is not very, maybe here is the Henry F. in Schaffhausen. This is, and Henry F. his diary. He also wrote a diary. Henry F. Family Tagebuch, which I translated from a website, which is linked there. There are other interesting things. For example, Nigli, you see the the sign for the Ellenberger, which is 2 Ellen, which is the measure of a Snyder on the hills of the Emmental. So there's really been a street in Lützenflüh in Emmental, which is called Ellenberg, and from there the Ellenbergers derive. If you then go, for example, to Jacob, you click here, and then you come to the website, my Ellenberger website, which you can also have in the Ellenberger line, also in English, with the film Baptism of the Holy Spirit, which I made in the Emmental. And you can see Jacob and his wife in an artificial intelligence film. You see, fantastic. And I translated in the German version. I have to copy that. I translated his works, the biographical sketch, to English, and you can download and read it there. It's 29 pages. It's a nice small book. And my great-grandfather and his beautiful wife, they loved each other, I'm sure. Artificial intelligence made this wonderful picture. His children, and so on. So sometimes there are other entries. Daniel Adolf. And Jacob Heinrich. This is myself. Okay, there are some people whom I have personal contact with. They are marked on this. Christian instead, he emigrated from Friedelsheim to USA. Also his son, Christian. You see always the numbers. Christian from Friedelsheim is the number 1, and his son is 1, 2, 3. The Christian immigrated there. And his first wife died in 1833. I think maybe this was the reason he immigrated then. Or she died shortly after he immigrated. Maybe she died in the USA, I don't know. So you can make many interesting conclusions from that. So that's it, more or less. Have fun with this Ellenberger 2.0 genealogy. Bye-bye.